Is it dangerous wearing tampons? How long did it take for you to get over your ex that cheated? How do you say no to having sex? How do you deal with acne and people judging you for having it? How to deal with being insecure of what your looks like? Hi, today I'm going to be answering all your questions that you may not want to ask your sister or may not want to ask your mom because it's really uncomfortable because same, I feel you. Welcome to the sleepover or welcome to this FaceTime. I don't know what vibe you're going for. I don't know if you have sleepovers or if you're allowed sleepovers because I wasn't allowed sleepovers. But anyways, so I had you ask me questions on Instagram, and if you didn't get to, make sure to follow my Instagram because I interact on Instagram like so much, even like with DMs and stuff like that. Also, if there's like an echo, it's because my room doesn't have like enough furniture in it, which I'm working on it. Chill. Give me a second, I'm working on it. Anyways, so I asked you on my Instagram to ask me questions that you wanted to know. I've already done like I think one of these or two of these, so if you missed that, go check that out. Let's just get started. Is it dangerous wearing tampons? No, I don't think it is. I've been using tampons since I got my period. I've never been someone to use pads. Obviously I've used pads before, but if I have the choice, I'll use a tampon. But sometimes I do use a pad and a tampon because my period be heavy as fuck. I don't think it's dangerous, and yes, I've left it in there way too long than it's supposed to be in there multiple occasions, like so many times. Like, it's not healthy. Don't suggest you do that, but I don't think it's dangerous as long as you're like careful with it and not like me. And also there's a lot safer alternatives, like ones that aren't bleached and all that stuff. So there are so many options out there. And also I've already talked about how to insert a tampon in the last one. Yeah. What's the hardest obstacle to overcome / an obstacle that you're still struggling to overcome? I know I've talked about it on the channel before and stuff like that, but if you don't know already, I deal with a lot of mental health, whatever the fuck. If you don't know, I have depression, ADHD, not anxiety, thankfully, because I just feel like all these things mixed together would just like, I'm already a mess. So like, and then also a personality thing. I don't know, I don't want to get into it, but just know that I know you may watch me on YouTube and be like, oh my god, this girl's so perfect and like blah 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 blah. Like, I'm really not. I'm dealing with shit myself, and I just try to put my best self forward on YouTube and, you know, make it a positive place where, you know, me and you and just everyone else can just feel comfortable and be real with each other, because I know it's like hard to catch a break from the real world. So I hope you watching this can catch a break. But with like depression, I feel like the best way is to try to find things that make you happy, because I am going through a little bit of a rut right now, but you know, I think it's really important to wake up and be like, what do I do that makes me happy, and figure out different ways, because I'm trying to figure out different ways to make me happy other than fleeing to another country, because that's been my coping mechanism for the past like 5 years of my life, is just fleeing and traveling. But I can't really do that right now, so I've been finding different ways, which is, you know, having a good friend group around you. And if you can't do that, there's so many other things, just like working on yourself, working on your career, and doing things like going tanning or working out, or, you know, making food with yourself, picking up new hobbies. But also, I know I've mentioned this before, I've gotten a therapist recently, and thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. I don't want y'all to think like, oh my god, this is like a sponsor video, time to click out. Like, no, I'm being serious. I've talked about this before. I don't want you to think that like I'm just trying to push something on you. I think that therapy is very important. I feel like therapy is also becoming very normalized now, which is so good. I'm so glad everyone's talking about it. But I know it may be hard to go into a therapist. I know that's one of my biggest things, is like actually going into somebody. I know that was my biggest thing and why I didn't get it for so long. So I just want to thank BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. I genuinely enjoy BetterHelp, and I wouldn't be doing a mental health sponsorship unless I liked it. Anyway, so basically BetterHelp is going to assess your needs, whether it be, you know, family issues or you have relationship issues and stuff like that. There are therapists just for you. And so basically they're going to assess your needs and, you know, what exactly would be right for you, and then they're going to match you with your own professional licensed therapist. And it's super quick. You don't have to go through a bunch of stuff. This is all online, and you can start communicating with your therapist in literally less than 48 hours. It's not like a crisis line. It's not like self-help. It's literally just professional counseling, and it's done securely online. And seriously, there is a broad range of expertise in BetterHelp's 14,000 counselor network. So if you're like, oh, like no one's gonna understand me, there are 14,000 plus counselors on there. I'm sure you'll figure out the right one. By the way, BetterHelp service is available worldwide. You can message your counselor at any time just by logging in. So they're just kind of always there for you, and it just feels like somebody's always there to listen to your problems or just whatever you're going through. So let's say you do message them, you'll get timely and very thoughtful responses. And plus you can also schedule like weekly video calls or whatever. I love that about BetterHelp. Everything online, just like also the world's evolving, everything's online now. And it's also way more affordable than traditional counseling. And also they offer financial aid if you need it. So definitely just check it out, even if you're unsure about it or like are scared or just like think that you can't afford it, just check it out, you know what I mean? BetterHelp just wants you to live a happier life, okay? That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/maiphammy, and join over 1 million people taking charge of their mental health with an experienced professional. Anyways, they're offering my supporters, which is you, 10% off your first month at BetterHelp.com/maiphammy. How can I fall completely in love with myself? I know this sounds so cheesy or whatever, like how to gain confidence. Let me tell y'all out there, I am a confident girl, and I know that it can be hard to be confident. It's not something easy to achieve, but it is something you can get to. Don't think that like you're always gonna be insecure about yourself and stuff like that, because if you believe that, then you're not gonna be confident. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but like it's a literal mentality thing. Like, you literally just have to believe that you are hot shit and you will be hot shit. Like, it is a mentality thing, and like if you radiate confidence, people are gonna believe that this girl is confident. They're gonna believe that you're hot. They're gonna believe that you are that bitch. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and there's a difference between confidence and being cocky. I don't walk into a party thinking I'm the hottest girl there. I walk into that party thinking I'm hot. You know what I mean? You don't have to compare yourself to other people. But I have a whole video on how to be confident on yourself. But basically, I know people are like, oh, fake it till you make it, fake it till you make it. And it just goes through one ear and out the other, because whenever people said that to me, I would just be like, oh, okay. I think something that worked the most for me is eye contact with people. And I know that like no one ever mentions this when I think like, how do you gain confidence? But eye contact is one of the most important things, because one of the dead giveaways to know that someone's not confident is when they can't keep eye contact with you. And I used to be so bad at eye contact. I have ADHD and I can't focus my eyes on people, and I still can't. But in general, I've worked on my eye contact so much in the past year because I realized how important it is. So make a conscious effort of keeping eye contact with people, and you know, making sure your eyes aren't wandering whenever you're talking to people. And I promise you that is going to be one of the most important things. I know that like that probably doesn't make any sense, but like that is one of the most important things, is just doing your own thing, acting like you know where you're going or what you're doing, keeping eye contact with people, and putting a smile on your face, keeping your head up. That is some of the easiest ways to exude confidence. How long did it take for you to get over your ex that cheated? Like, physically, emotionally, I don't know how to explain it, like crying and like, you know, going through that, 2 days. Mentally, probably like a month or so. But the thing is, I constantly still think about them, but that doesn't mean that you're not over them. Like, you created memories with someone, and don't think that just because you didn't get over it in 2 days or a month that you're behind, or just in a breakup in general and you see the other person getting over it quick. That doesn't mean anything. People deal with things differently, but you know, I still think about my ex to this day, but it's not in a negative way. It's not in a way where it's like, oh, you miss them. It's just you created memories with someone, and it's okay to think about them, because these are things that you go through in life, and they're gonna be things that help you grow and learn. So if you still think about them, it's not a bad thing. So don't try to force yourself to get over something. Just kind of go through the emotions, and eventually you will. Don't try to compare yourself to other people or compare yourself to your ex. But I would say the easiest way to get over somebody is to do your own thing, because I feel like the mistake that a lot of people make is thinking that they have to do something directed towards the person to try to get over them, or like do something hateful. But in my opinion, the easiest way to like show someone that you're doing better or whatever is working on yourself, instead of doing anything with a malicious intent towards them. Work on yourself. That means go to the gym, eat healthy, you know, focus on your career, and you know, surround yourself with good people and friends and stuff like that, or travel. But just realize that you were okay without them before, and you can be okay after that. And I think that's what really helped me, is I like believed that I could move on, and I knew that I had a life that didn't involve him, and I could live a life that didn't involve him, you know? I don't know. I'm crazy. How do you shave / clean up down there? I actually have a whole video dedicated to how to shave down there, so I'll link that down in the description box below, but go check that out. I don't really get razor bumps or anything because of this technique, so go check that out. After this video, of course. Is it worth it to date in high school / middle school if it's just for fun? Personally, for me, when I was in high school and middle school, I made it a known thing that I wasn't gonna date anybody. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, you can just like learn what you want and what you don't want, which I totally agree with. But for me, there are so many other things to focus in high school. And if you're in a relationship right now and you're happy, disregard this message, because if you're happy, then you're happy, you know what I mean? Like, that's all that matters overall. But because I feel like for me, dating is very, very, very serious to me, and people can see it in different ways. But for me personally, I find dating very serious, and I'm not gonna date anybody if I don't see a future with them. So that's why I didn't really date around in high school. And I feel like that age, all the way up to like 25, those are the most pivotal years of your life. I don't know if I personally would wanna date somebody, especially that young. But if you are in a relationship, that is totally okay. Don't think that it's wrong, because if you are happy, then you're happy. You found somebody that you like. But I just think that if I were to be in a relationship right now, there'd be too many issues, because a girl changes her personality every 2 seconds. And I just have so much that I want to do that I don't need a man for. And I personally preach independence so much. I feel like independence makes you grow so much as a person, and you need it in your life. I feel like being okay with yourself is like one of the best feelings ever. And you can start off by doing little things. Like when I was younger, I would go grocery shopping by myself. I would go to restaurants by myself, do little trips by myself. When I was was literally like 14, 13. And I'm not saying you have to do it at that young, obviously, but like maybe if you're 20, do that now. Start off by doing that. Going shopping by yourself, going to the mall by yourself, going on drives by yourself, or like sitting at a coffee shop by yourself. I know you think it's weird, but no one really cares. No one's looking at you like that. No one cares, and it just makes you feel so okay with yourself. And now I can do anything by myself. I can travel the world by myself. Like, I'm so okay with myself, and I feel like that's one of the most important things, because how are you supposed to be in a relationship with somebody when you don't even know your full self? How are you supposed to, I don't know. You know what I mean? Okay. How do you deal with acne and people judging you for having it? So I have really clear skin right now. I'm just gonna say that right now I have real clear skin. I just have acne scars, but I'm not just saying that to flex, because I'm just gonna tell you, it is gonna pass. I literally, like 3 months ago, I had a huge pimple on my face and a bunch, and it made me feel so insecure. I didn't want any pictures taken of me. Like, it just feels like that becomes your identity. And I promise you, no one notices it as much as you notice it. And I know it's hard to believe that. I don't think that that's like good advice, because like obviously everyone says that, but you know, it's very normal to feel shitty about yourself for it. It's very normal. Everyone deals with acne at some point in their life, most likely. I dealt with a bunch of forehead acne when I was younger, like middle school, high school, and it was just all those little bumps and stuff like that. And then I went on birth control to fix that, but then after I went on birth control, I gained a bunch of weight. Like, I was the heaviest I ever was. So I got off of that, but it did clear my acne, right? Then a year ago, I had my acne again, and it was a bunch of those bumps, and I started getting a bunch on my cheeks and stuff like that. And the only way that I could fix that was Accutane. Go to your doctor, figure out what's good for you. But personally, Accutane sounded really scary, because everyone that's on Accutane is like, I got so dry, blah, 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 blah. And every time you see someone on Accutane, it's cystic acne. There are different dosages. So I think the main dosage of Accutane is 40 milligrams, but I got on only 10 milligrams. And that was really good for me. I barely got dry. It cleared up all my acne scarring. So go talk to your doctor, suggest maybe doing a low dosage of Accutane, and it worked perfectly for me, and I haven't had acne since. So that's what I did. Yeah, I would just say, realize that not everyone is looking at your acne like you think. You know, when people are looking at you, they're looking at your eyes, they're looking at your mouth, they're looking at your nose, they're looking at your face, they're just looking at everything else, and little tiny spots on your face isn't gonna be the big picture, you know? How to deal with being insecure of what your looks like. All right, if I'm gonna be honest, I've looked at almost every single one of my like closest friends' vaginas. Yes, every single one of them. We've literally just like, this is what it looks like, you know, and like we just normalize it. And obviously you're probably not gonna do it with all your friends, but I just like, I feel very open with all my friends, you know, we'll walk around naked and stuff like that, because it's very normal to have different looking bodies. And you know, even down there it's different. Like, you know, some girls have very small, thin, whatever. Some girls have a lot and you can see it a lot more, but it's all normal. And I can promise you, if your insecurity is because somebody else is gonna look at it, don't even think about that, because I can assure you, I've talked to plenty of guys. No guy cares. Literally no guy cares. Just realize that all bodies are different. Don't try to stay caught up on the whole cosmetic aspect of it, because I promise you nobody cares. And there's so many different colors, there's so many different shapes, there are so many. And keep in mind, if you are insecure about it because of a man, they don't see it every single day. They don't really know what it should look like and what it shouldn't look like. So you may be thinking, oh, mine doesn't look like this, mine doesn't look like this. Men don't really know. So yeah, how to gain more body positivity. Now, as you know, if you've been watching for a minute, you know that I used to say, oh, I'm a rectangle, I'm a rectangle, I'm a rectangle. And I used to say, oh, I have a flat bum, I have a flat bum, I have a flat bum, because I really did. Like, I used to be as flat as a board. I used to be shaped like a literal rectangle. Like, I always told myself this ever since I was young. Like, I realized this in high school, even when it came to my nose. If I wanted to fix it, I really could. I know this sounds really dumb, but think about it like this. If you are insecure, let's say about your butt, and you're like, oh, like it's so flat, like I wish it could be bigger. If you really wanted it to be bigger, go work out. Like, it's true, like if you really want it to be bigger, go work out. But you know, if you don't want to, then you don't want to. But it's just that mentality, knowing that it could be that. There are things that you can't change, like your nose, let's say. I didn't hate my nose, I just thought it could look better if I wanted to. So, you know, I saved up my money and I paid for a nose job. But if you can't, which I couldn't for 17 years of my life, I learned how to contour my nose and make myself feel confident in that nose. I don't know, I feel like if you just believe that you are that bitch, then you will be that bitch, you know? Discharge, is it normal? Yes, it's so normal. I used to have so much discharge that I needed to wear panty liner. It's so normal. Bleach underwear is so normal. If you don't know how to deal with it, just wear panty liner. Literally every girl goes through it, so don't even stress about it. It's literally just your body cleaning itself. Literally every girl goes through it, so don't stress, okay? Is it normal to masturbate? Yes. Is it normal to not masturbate? Yes. But I just feel like if you want to get to know yourself and enjoy sex and just sexual things, I would suggest to masturbate just so you know yourself a little bit better, because I feel like a lot of people think that the way you should enjoy sex is the other person pleasuring you, but in reality it should be you pleasuring yourself and you knowing yourself, and you're going to enjoy it so much better and your partner is going to enjoy it so much better. It's overall going to be better if you know what you're doing and you know what you exactly want, you know what makes yourself feel good, and even during sex you could masturbate. I don't know, okay, anyways, tips on how to not be desperate for some guy's attention. Now, I saw this TikTok a year ago and it was, my biggest flex is I've pulled every single guy I wanted, and I watched that and I was like, not me. Couldn't be me. I was like, I want to be that bitch. I want to be that girl that can pull any guy I want. This literally was what boosted my confidence and made me like how sure I am with myself now is this. Just knowing that you are that bitch. Learning these little steps. I can make a whole video on it, but like I said, I researched so much psychology. I actually read books on it. Like I would say the big picture, I mean obviously there's a lot more details, is don't ever chase after someone. Men are hunters. They want to hunt. They want something that they can't have. They love the chase. They're literally, like it's literally seen in animals and stuff like that. Like male always wants to chase, so don't ever chase. There's certain ways to do it, which I can make a whole video on. All right, so that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. I love, you know, getting personal with you and just like trying to give my advice. I don't really know if it's good advice or not. If you want me to do more of these or just like do certain videos, let me know because I would love to. Make sure to subscribe. Let's try to get to 1.4 million subscribers. I would really appreciate it. Follow my Instagram if you haven't already. DM me if you're going through something and I'll try to help. Also, I shout out an Instagram comment and Instagram fan page in every single video. So Instagram comment of the day goes to meg.nna. She said, this picture is gonna blow up on Pinterest. Thank you, girl. I mean, I really hope so. Fan page of the day goes to my fam for life. She made this super cute edit with pink and like, you know, me with like the flowers kind of giving me Ariana Grande vibes. But yeah, thank you so much. I'll catch you on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And until next time, peace.
East and the west, I'm racking up on my bread, power on me, I'm feeling just like a Tesla. Too much tree, the smoke is making my chest hurt. Girl on me, I'm thinking I should've rest her.